What's good, family? It's your boy Old Soul J, and I'm back with another video. Now look, my last video that I actually recorded was your first 5 or your main 5 signs in astrology. And now in that video I said you have 6 other placements and those are also important. So I will be doing a part 2 after this video. I might release the video I'm gonna do after this video. I might release that video before this one, just so part 1 and part 2 could come out back to back. But right now, you know, you gotta go with the flow for real. You gotta go with what you feel. That's what going with the flow really means. It doesn't mean, you know, BS and don't do what you gotta do and don't get done what you gotta get done. That's not what that means. That necessarily means, like, this is a perfect example. I wanted to do an astrology video. I didn't plan on doing 2 parts of it. I went overtime, and I already planned on doing a numerology video. Now, because I see that I should do a part 2, doesn't mean I'm gonna neglect that feeling and that passion that I feel right now for doing a numerology video. I'm sorry guys, I'm rambling a little bit, but let's get into the video. Now, astrology, like I said, is actually widely popular, and a lot of people actually do believe it, even if they're religious or not. And you know, there's still people who don't believe it, of course, but you know, those people are let me tell you the truth about that. When it comes to astrology especially, a lot of times people are just not in tune with their soul. They're not really aware of it. They just live life as a human. They just live life as the world as they see it initially. But you have to have that some type of wonder and inner feeling and intuition that will lead you into having experiences and things of that nature. At least for most people. Some people maybe have certain gifts or were destined for certain things, but you have to have some type of curiosity and that natural wonder for spiritual or like just your soul overall, for you to learn certain things. But a lot of that has to do with you being an older or younger soul, period. That's just a fact. Like, it's just a fact. That's why I call myself Old Soul J, and that's why I say a lot of people who watch me are old souls, because a younger soul, they're not even, it's not going to clock to them. It's not going to compute. They're not going to be interested at all, because they haven't gone through haven't gone through enough lifetimes to actually realize what's actually important, which is your soul. This whole 3D illusion matrix is super temporary, and I'm not gonna say it's not important, but a big reason why we are here is to realize, to wake up in the game, right? But I'm getting sidetracked before I even get started. Now, today we're going to talk about our numerology signs, and you know, some people stop at astrology. A lot of people aren't that much into numerology, but you know, but the people who are into numerology, a lot of them aren't that much into astrology. Now, is it necessary to know both? Not necessarily, because they both are very in-depth. Oh, I should mention, in astrology, I have to learn more about my Vedic, because your Vedic is supposedly supposed to be more on point, right? There's Eastern astrology and then there's Western astrology. Eastern astrology is more of the Vedic, and you know, I did a whole video talking about Hinduism and spirit and Buddhism. You know, the Eastern traditions and philosophies are just a lot more deeper and rooted than Western. The Western world is very corrupt. But not to say there's no corruption in the Eastern world. There's corruption everywhere, but this is just a fact of the matter. But numerology itself, some people like numerology because it's a little more simpler, and you know, you could learn all you really need to know about yourself just from numerology, because it gives you the grand scheme, the grand scale of things. And your astrology signs say a lot about who you are. Not only does numerology say about who you are, it gives you a better scope of the path you're supposed to be on, right? But look, let's get into it, family. We're gonna go over the life path number, the big 3 for numerology: the life path number, your soul urge number, aka your heart's desire number, and your destiny number. Now, here's the thing about these 3 things here. So your life path number is the road you walk. So this is kind of similar to your sun sign in astrology. It's basically the theme of your journey. And just like in the astrology video, I'm gonna go over my life path, my destiny number, and my soul urge number, and say what that says about me. So in your life path number, it says a lot about your challenges, your natural talents, and your life lessons. Let's go over the heart's desire number, or the soul urge number. So this is more so like deeper, right? I think to me this has a lot to do with, like, it's kind of similar to your moon sign. It's not necessarily the same, but now what this represents more so is what your soul craves, what your heart desires, what fulfills you emotionally. It's like your inner motivations. It's almost like the reason behind why you do what you do. It's what literally what your soul urges, your soul longs for, and what really actually makes you happy. And it's so funny because in my last video I mentioned how I do love to do this, or how because I'm supposed to be doing this, and how my soul rewards me. Like, that's why I said, like, I enjoy doing it. Even though I do it with purpose, I'm not doing it for no reason, I still do enjoy doing it because it feels right. That goes along with what I was just saying in that last video. That's what your soul urge number is, basically. That's what it represents. And we're going to go over what that could mean. You got to find that out for yourself, but I'm going to go over what they mean for me. Now, your destiny number is basically the tools you were given. It's like your skill, your potential. It's your talents. It's the tool that you use to express your life path. So it basically talks about what you're naturally good at and how the world sees your gifts. Now, my life path number is a number 5. So what the life path number is, this falls right in line with what it said a lot about my sun sign and my chart overall, is freedom. So what life path number 5 means is that at your core you're meant to experience life in a free type of way. You know what I mean? Like, you're not meant to live it under other people's rules. You crave change, adventure, variety, growth. You know what I mean? You want to experience everything life has to offer in a way. Life path number 5 is usually learned through like experiences, taking risk, and exploring all sides of life. Now, let me tell y'all why this is so on point with me. Anybody who knows me personally knows that I take interest in a lot of different things. Now, right now, the current point in my life, I'm in a stage in my life, and my chart says a lot about this as well. That's the thing people don't understand too. Because of how your chart is set up, it's different based on your age and the year that we're in. Like that, all of that plays a fundamental role of what your life is looking like. That's why everybody's so unique. Even with signs in their charts, everybody is super unique. Now, I'm in a stage right now where I'm supposed to, and I've felt this intuitively already before I even seen it on my chart. You ever heard of the Master of None? This is a big theme with the life path number 5s. You take interest in a lot of things. You see potential in yourself in a lot of different things. You're naturally pretty good at a lot of different things. Like for me, anybody who's known me, I've done many different things and been reasonably good at it, to where I've had people who were experienced in it tell me like, oh, you could be this, you could do this, right? So my challenge, the stage I'm in right now, is where I'm honing in on one thing so I don't become a master of none, and I can actually be great at something. And what I'm honing in on is my true passion, which has a lot to do with my soul urge, which I'm gonna get into in a minute. Literally, I've had friends, family that don't even know each other say to me, oh, you wear many hats, you've worn many hats, you're a jack of all trades, you've lived different lives. I'm not kidding you. Different people that don't know each other that has told me that, and let me give y'all examples of why and what I've done in my young life so far. And I have so much more. I'm still in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? So let me tell you some of the things that I've taken part in. Right, I've made a lot of music. Anybody who's heard my music knows that I have a talent there. You know what I mean? I actually make good songs. There was a time in my life where I was taking music very seriously. Another thing that I've taken a lot of interest in was boxing. And I've literally had coaches tell me, now some people will say, oh, they're just telling you that so you could pay for their services. Listen, man, I went through fight camps. I've sparred with guys who've been boxing since they were kids and held my own. And some people say, oh, they're just going easy on you. Listen, I knew when people were going easy and when people weren't. You could tell when you feel them punches. You know what I'm saying? But basically what I'm saying is that is something that I was naturally pretty decent at. To start as late as I did, because I didn't start boxing since I was 19. And I still was never consistent for real. I was consistent in it for a short period of time. I've also had pretty well success as a salesman. Quick. Working jobs, doing sales. These are different categories of life. Now, I'm honestly, obviously, naturally gifted in my spiritual practice, and talking and teaching. These are different lanes. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want a whole tangent about these things. I forgot what I was talking about. So that's how you know it is about, and it's not even just about me being a jack of all trades. It's also me working different jobs. I once worked for the MTA, and I was a construction track worker, and I wasn't that bad at that either. A job like that, believe it or not, but anybody who's been a track worker understands that there's some of that comes with some level of skill. Even so, like, let's say I wasn't good at these things, I still was deeply involved with all these things, right? So even that alone, it shows you right there as a life path number 5, we experience life from different angles, right? I've gotten a little peek of what it's like. That's why I always say with boxers, I will always respect the boxer. Even if he has a horrible record or what other people would say he's trash, especially a boxer who's made it to a certain level, always respect them, because you don't understand how much of a mental and physical discipline it takes to do that. I respect any man who does something like that, period. Does something like that for a living. Now, let me continue though, because I'm rambling. On life path number 5, thrives when they feel free to make their own choices, right? So I'm a type of person who I just don't like being confined. I don't like going by other people's beats of their, like, I like to do me how I like to do me. And that's how I flourish and flow the most. You're adaptable and persuasive. People often find your energy exciting and unpredictable. People, this is very true. I'm very hard to read. When people think they know me, then I end up doing something that you didn't expect. When people think they figured me out, then you learn something else that you didn't expect. And the adaptable thing is pretty obvious in what the whole tangent I just went on about my different experiences. I fit right in with all those crowds. All of them. I adapted. Period. Now, a life path number 5's challenge is to balance freedom with responsibility and focus. And literally, that has a lot to do with what I was saying about my Capricorn being a moon. It falls right in line. And my sun being a Sagittarius, that freedom part, and then that challenge part is my moon sign that's pushing me to embrace those challenges of being disciplined, focused, responsible, right? Those are things that I naturally have challenging based off of my life path being a number 5 and my Sagittarius being, my sun being a Sagittarius, because of me wanting to just be free and do what I want. But I have the intellect to understand that you can't live life all willy-nilly like that. There has to be structure. And that is something that I drill into my mind constantly, because I know my nature. I understand my nature, and that's what's part of the challenge of life, or the game called life. As soon as I stop drilling that into my head, because it's in me, my Capricorn in me actually makes me thrive off of that discipline. But as soon as I neglect my emotions or neglect my inner, deeper soul, and I start to fall more into the ego, is when I start to go to that nature of myself and start to neglect those things that are very much necessary, at least for somebody like me, like discipline and focus and structure. Now let's move on to the destiny number. So my destiny number is a number 6. Now, a destiny number 6, a lot of this has to do with being like a healer. And before I knew what this was too, I felt that intuitively. So this is the beauty about having a true powerful intuition. You kind of understand yourself on a deeper level. You just don't really know why. And so you have structures like this, you have systems like this that put it into perspective for you. So my destiny number has a lot to do with my outer purpose. What a destiny number 6, a big theme with destiny number 6 is that we're meant to create harmony. Before I knew what that was, I literally have harmony tatted on me. It's one of my favorite words. To create harmony, love, and beauty in others' lives. So a big part of it is to serve. That's what I'm doing in these videos. I have people tell me almost every day, you don't know how much I needed to hear that. This helped me so much. Thank you for this. And the things that I talk about, I speak so much about meditation. I speak so much about your mindset and mental discipline. These things are to help people, obviously, because I could just keep it for myself and benefit for myself. But I have a strong passion to make videos and put it out to the world to influence people. These things that I talk about a lot, build harmony, inner peace, love in one's own life. That falls right in line, family. Destiny number 6 are natural nurturers, mediators, and protectors. So a big part of that is that I'm for the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm for the people. I'm for the bigger collective consciousness and, a peacemaker. But, just to let you know, there's other parts about my sign and also the influence of people I've been raised by and, being a product of my environment, which I love that perfect mix of myself because I have that nurture inside of me. But then I have the egotistical part of me that's also influenced. It's just a beautiful balance because even though I am the peacemaker, I have the capability and the courage to defend myself and defend. And also I did say protector, to defend others. And I always speak about how I hate bullies. Like, I can't stand bullies. I hate to see other people get bullied. Like, that's one of the things that really strike me emotionally. And just to see others get bullied or even worse, like when it comes to, I don't want to get into all that. A destiny number 6 is you're meant to uplift and guide. That's what I do, y'all. That's the passion I have. uplift people. If you look on my TikTok, if you look at my videos on here, I uplift people. If you don't think I uplift people, I definitely guide people. That's what I do. Those are the two things that I do. If you read it, right, if you look it up and you read it, it says perhaps through teaching, counseling, and creative service. These things line up too well, family. These are things that I've already been, like me, this channel, my TikTok, the things that I talk about, my natural personality, I was already like this. I already was doing these things before I even knew what numerology was. You feel what I'm saying? There's no denying this. People are just not aware. They just, don't be ignorant. Well, I'm speaking as if you don't know. I don't know who's watching this. You might just be looking to learn, or you might already know, but these things be too on point for me, y'all. So for me, the combination of having a life path number 6 and a destiny life path number 5 and a destiny number 6. Even though my life path energy pulls me towards adventure and freedom, my destiny number 6 reminds me the importance of caring for others and building something actually meaningful. All on point, family. Now let's get into it. The soul urge number. To me, this is the deepest one. They're all important, but I saved this one for last. I'm a soul urge number 9. Now, I don't know how many of you were here from, my channel is still in the early stages, but there was a time where for a brief time, I don't know who may be seeing this, where my name was J Divine 9. Even on TikTok, there was a small period of time, like Old Soul J was first, but there was a small period of time where I changed it to J Divine 9. And then I went back to Old Soul J because Old Soul J just felt more like me. The reason why my name was J Divine 9 was because of my soul urge number being a 9, and because of what I talked about and preached in my videos, or what I was doing. But because of what I was doing in the videos, felt like a big reason for that was the influence of my soul urge number. It was kind of like telling you what the name represented and what my videos represented. Now let's talk about what a soul urge number 9 means. Deep down, a soul urge number 9 craves legacy and compassion, things with real meaning, being drawn to helping, healing, or inspiring people, anything that serves a greater cause. So a soul urge number 9 feels other people's pain easily, right? If I just think about certain scenarios, I feel it as if I'm going through it, or I know someone's going through it, even if I'm not, or even if I don't know anyone who's actually going through that. I feel it. This is why also a lot of times when I hear about tragedies on the news, I get genuinely upset. I understand, like some people say don't watch the news at all because they, it's controlled by so and so, and they only talk about negative things and they never talk about anything that's important. But then there's also other people who want to, the saying, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. There's the people that say you should still watch it because you want to know what's going on and what they're planning. Now, I'm not completely opposed to it, but I do avoid it because when I do hear about something really tragic, it hurts my soul, literally. It could affect my entire mood and day. So because I need to be focused on what I'm doing, I do try to avoid that. Now, the soul urge number 9, if you look it up, look, I'm going to look this up real quick. You literally have an old soul energy, wise, empathetic, and selfless when balanced. When balanced. I love that because look, obviously I have an old soul energy. Obviously that's where the name comes from. But selfless when balanced. So when I'm more aligned, when I'm more on my path, on my purpose, when I'm more together, I'm very selfless. When I'm more, you know what I'm saying? When I'm in the right place mentally, I'm very selfless. But when I was a kid, I can be selfish. And that, some would say a life path number 5 can be selfish because they care about variety, freedom, not following other people's rules. So I do have both of those energies in me. That's selfless and selfish energy. But that's why I love how it says when you are balanced. It's very true, family. It's very on point. You might feel pulled between wanting to save everyone and needing to let go when things end. Forgiveness, acceptance, and letting go of the past wounds are key lessons, right? So spiritual fulfillment through compassion and universal love. Compassion, I feel like, is one of the most important things on earth, and I feel like that is the number one thing that we need as a collective in order for us to evolve. So it goes right in line with universal love because love conquers all, and we need these things. I could be the type of guy who sees the world for what it is and say, I can't do nothing about it. The world is this, and I'm just gonna let it be what it is and try to live the best life I could live. Or I could be the guy who understands that our time is limited here anyway, and while we're here, we should be trying to make it better for everyone and not selfishly make it better for just ourselves. Even though making it better for yourself is important as well. But if we all had that, but all it takes is to be compassionate, and it wouldn't get in the way of making life better for yourself. The world itself being a better place is better than a person being greedy and trying to take everything for themselves. What those three placements or those three, numbers say about me is I'm a free spirit with a healer's heart and old soul's wisdom. And these are facts, family. So I suggest you go learn what your life path number is, your destiny number is, and your soul urge number is, and find out what that means in conjunction, how they affect each other, and what that looks like for you. But that's all I gotta say for today, family. Make sure you like and subscribe. I love y'all.